I'm going to interrupt the guys. Oh, my goodness. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm U-Turn LaVern, and this is one street over. What's happening one street over from where you live in? Oh, Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. That's what's happening this weekend, and we are so excited. Barry Richards, David Mitchell's in the house, and we were just talking about how good that song is. I mean, he's part of the Ridgetop Ramblers. I remembered that name. I'm so embarrassed. I was sitting here trying to remember David's last name. And I've known him for, 20 years. But you know how you do that sometime? Get on that microphone, brother. You know how microphones work. You're a musician. But anyway.
We were talking about that song. I was listening to your show on the radio and paid attention to the mix because I've heard that song a million times live.
Yeah.
But that actual recording is pretty creative. The way it starts out a little bit different with the microphone.
It's kind of like the scratchy.
I like that.
Yeah. It's cool. It's really cool. And I'll never forget, when y'all first asked me to come and do this, how long have we been doing this, guys?
Well, Cheryl asked me that. Cheryl Chun asked me that. And I said, I think it's the 10th annual.
Okay.
We started in 2013, but we skipped a year.
Yeah.
So does that make this the 10th or the 11th?
I just don't know.
We're going to have to go back and count.
I feel like it's
we're going to have to go back and
10th.
count the posters.
We are. And
got,
this may be the 10th, but we had the whole COVID thing that just kind of messed us up. And so, I think we're definitely there. And I can remember so clearly because it was at a time, you figure my radio career had phased out in 2012. I mean, I had gotten laid off in a phone call in the middle of my traffic shift. Radio's brutal, y'all. I'm just saying, after 28 years. So anyway, nonetheless, I was trying to figure out, okay, am I done with radio? What I want to do? And the podcasting thing was just really getting started. And so I was, then I worked for Glenn for a couple of years, out in Texas. And I was back
and you were
and
working for
forth.
Glenn Beck when you started the festival,
Was
feel
it?
like.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe.
'Cause I feel like you and I
Yeah,
were
I was
talking
there
about that.
2013 and 2014, so I guess it was. And but nonetheless, I was there through 2015. It don't matter. But anyway, so when I first heard that song, I was like, man, that would be a great music bed for a podcast or something. And I talked to y'all about it. And then for a couple of years, like, when are you going to do that, LaVern? When are you going to do that? And nothing ever came up. And then they came and they asked me to do this show. And I was like, hey, here we go.
There you go.
So anyway, y'all have to play it every year at the festival because, it's my song.
There you go.
So, all right. Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, y'all, in Cross Plains.
We're excited.
Cross Plainians. Are you Cross Plains? Is that your address?
No.
I don't think so.
Ridgetop.
That's what I thought. Yeah, you're
He's
Ridgetop.
in the
You're
Ridgetop Ramblers.
See, I'm forgetting everything, David.
all right.
David's got LaVern.
That's
Are you okay? I'm a teacher that's just got. I was up this morning at 4:30. Fixing the digital sign in Greenbrier because our softball girls beat Macon County last night in a squeaker.
Oh, wow.
And they are the region champs. And so I had to get all that on the digital sign. So at 4:30, I'm doing that. And then I'm working on finishing up a documentary the kids did because we're trying to get everything done here at the end of the year. So I am just like, I've got so much going on. So please forgive me. I forgot your last name, forgot where you live. I love you, David.
It's all right.
I love you, David.
All right. Love you.
Anyway, so here we go. Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. Here's the Cross Plainian. Well, how did you get involved then? Because it's Cross Plains and all that.
Well,
how did all that happen?
The Ridgetop Ramblers have had played several times for like the 4th of July in Cross Plains.
Right.
And Faye Stubblefield, who's a county commissioner and who actually works for the city there now, she had this vision for a bluegrass festival.
Okay.
And every time we were out there at the park, before they built the pavilions and things that you see at the city park in Cross Plains now at Kilgore Park, she was always pointing at hillsides and saying, oh, we should do this and we should do that. And at some point, somebody had the real vision at the Kilgore Park to utilize that old tobacco barn that was down there on the creek at the back of the park. It wasn't an area being used for anything else, but it just made the perfect, venue. And they put the stage on the side of the tobacco barn. But Faye knew the Ridgetop Ramblers and knew David, and David was always around, with one project or another. So when we got things together, the very first thing we did for the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, we actually had sort of a dedication of sorts. And Ridgetop Ramblers played, and a few other music acts played, and And it was in the fall, I think, maybe of 2012. And that was sort of we're going to be doing this Bluegrass Festival, and this is what's coming up. So so he goes way back with Cross Plains too. So.
Okay. But and it's wonderful, and y'all invited me to come and be a part of it, and it's just been a great blessing because I tell everybody it's like a big family reunion every year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, it is. It is.
A lot of folks we only see once a year.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, and that's the thing, and so it's just like this big reunion that we have, and we get. I love seeing these kids. Oh my goodness, these youngins that are coming along, they are so much fun. And that's what tomorrow night is all about. There's so many things we need to talk about. Now, we've got United Way coming in here at the bottom of the hour, so we need to not waste time. But talk to me about, you mentioned the barn. So before we move on, let's talk about what happened with the barn and that we have bathrooms. No more portalets. Woo! I'm so proud for that.
I want to apologize to the portable toilet people. They've been faithful to us all these years, but we're not going to rent any this year.
There you go.
The city of Cross Plains went above and beyond the last several years. It's all started out years ago. The city poured the concrete slab in the barn so we could have a barn dance.
Yeah.
David, tell her about the first year we had the barn dance, what we had to do to.
I remember because y'all were beat down, man.
Well, the gentleman that brings the big tent, supplies tent for us, Mr. Dan Smith. We was going to have. I said, it'd be cool to have this dance inside this barn. I said it would be really cool. I said, but it's just so rough. And he said, well, let's build a floor.
That sounds
sure.
Easy.
So I went and got a pickup load of plywood, and Dan had some base mounts there that we could put in. So me and Barry and Dan commenced building a plywood floor in that barn.
I know.
On gravel.
I remember.
On gravel and leveling it up. It was a nightmare.
Yes, it was. You guys, bless your hearts.
We was wore flat out.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
But then, after that, we got to talking, and I said, it went over so well. The atmosphere was so good, and we got to talk to Mr. Forrester.
Absolutely.
And Mr. James said, well, we're going to make this happen. We're going to get some concrete poured in there. And he come through for us. He really did. We got that concrete in there, and we've just been building on that concrete slab ever since, making everything better. So, but they have done a tremendous amount of work and a fine job on the barn this year and the bathroom. I mean, it has transformed it.
One of the things I think is extremely cool about what I've heard is if we were to get rain, it's no more, hey, let's scramble and get the band in the barn. All you got to do is open the doors and they turn around.
We turn around. Yeah.
That's brilliant. I'm sorry. That's brilliant.
Well, I tell you, we got a great committee right now, and we've been blessed to take on Larry and Cheryl Chun.
Absolutely.
And they have been in the business for so long with
hitting the desk.
doing dances and competitions.
And they're part of the Grand Ole Opry.
Absolutely.
That's just fair.
And the truth is that they turned, they had some really good ideas, and we worked off them ideas on the stage. So it worked out.
That's really cool. That's really cool. And you talk about talent. Wow. She just blows my mind. They both do. But they're just fun to watch.
Absolutely.
I mean, just so talented. And so they were in here she came in yesterday with some of the kiddos, and I was jealous of Lee Marie getting them all in here. I had other things scheduled, but nonetheless, it's just going to be, and of course, I had wonderful Amy Corbin. She's always wonderful. But this is just going to be so much fun. I'm so excited about Cutter and Cash and the Kentucky Grass. Those kiddos being on the Opry for the first time.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing.
That is cool.
They were here last year, but since then they've been on the Opry.
Yeah.
They posted a thing on social media this week. They're playing them on satellite radio, so they're getting exposure nationwide.
So cool. And guys, they really got some foundational starts out here at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. I mean,
well, we should we're going to take credit.
You better believe it.
For connecting them with Noah Goebel. I don't know how they connected with Noah and Lily, but that's some real talent there.
You better believe it.
Came, out of this area. Now.
Yeah.
Of course,
cool.
Noah was Dan Kelly's student.
Yes.
And Dan
his prize and
Yep.
pride and joy, really.
Me and Dan had talked, and he said, I would love to have some kind of competition for our kids here in the county. And, they used to have competitions at Adams years and years ago. And of course, that went away. And he said, everybody, all the kids here have got to drive miles and miles to be able to go to a competition.
Yeah.
I said, well, Dan, let's do it. Let's do it. And that was his dream. And and of course, Noah is
incredible.
He's got so many of Dan's influences in his playing. That's incredible. And he's just an incredible young man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
he's definitely Dan's protege, I guess you could say. For sure.
Yes, absolutely. And so that's why we've done it that way. And I like this competition for the kids. It's great to see them and their talents, for one. But it's great that we're a part of watching them grow.
Yes, it is.
So that's what's so cool about it. And but anyway, we got a great lineup.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
It's gonna be fun.
This is going to be so cool. I mean, I'm so excited about this show this weekend. The Friday night stuff, cannot say enough about. Y'all having catfish fry too.
Yeah.
That's still. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're gonna have some great
Come on.
catfish. Yeah.
I'm telling you guys. Okay, bottom line, $10 ticket gets in
Friday night
and Saturday night. 12 and under's free. Now you got to buy your catfish. I mean, you got to buy your catfish,
and you will, and you'll eat all day Saturday too.
Oh my goodness!
The catfish is only Friday night, but we've got some other great food trucks
vendors,
coming.
Always.
That'll be there on Saturday. So we'll start at 5:00 Friday night, and it is rain or shine. And he mentioned Dan Smith and set him up tents out of Greenbrier. We're going to have the big giant tent again. And again, the way, like you mentioned, the way the stage is configured, if it rains just a little bit, we just keep going because everybody's able to be under cover. If it rains heavily to where we need to cover the speakers up, then we all go in the barn.
Yeah.
And the band can be on the stage playing for the audience in the barn.
It's
awesome. Just a great configuration all the way around.
Well,
it is.
It's nice to have people like JBM Sound.
I know that they're still with us.
Austin,
my gosh, yes.
Austin, and they're all they work with us. They are professionals. They know how to do it. And, with that being said, now we can just turn around on stage, and it's going to make it really nice.
It's just super. And what I love about the setting there is it's set up like an amphitheater because of the way the barn is at the bottom and the way the hill. It is just God's little perfection of a perfect theater setting. It's just beautiful, and there's going to be more leaves on the trees. Of course, I mean we're full.
Absolutely. May's a great time to have it.
Oh my gosh, yes, I agree. Except for the fact that you're doing it at my granddaughter's birthday weekend. We're still. I told you that's my granddaughter will be 4 on Saturday, but they're taking her to see Frozen, so I think we're okay.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, they're taking her. It's an afternoon matinee, but I think I may be there for the entire thing. I might have to cut out right at the. What's going to kill me is I may have to miss Cutter and Cash, but I got to go take care of my granddaughter, so I don't know what we're doing, but you know how it is with grandkids. How many grandkids you got now?
2.
Oh, how old are they?
I got Jasper. He'll soon be 3, and I got Lena, and she's a little over a year. So
isn't it awesome?
Yep.
It's just the best. I'll have so much fun with my grandkids. But
absolutely.
This is and this would be something I want so bad for my kiddos to come out to this, especially on Friday night.
Oh yeah.
And to see the other kids and what they're doing. You know, I get my kids, my grandkids instruments and things all the time. And of course, my kids don't know, but I'm getting my granddaughter a little keyboard this year, and they're like, "Oh, gee, thanks." Noise. And we have some drums set up in the barn for the 7-year-old, and I've given them guitars, and I let them mess with my mandolin because I want them to have access to music, and to see, you know, if maybe it's their thing. Because when did you start playing?
I started around 11 or 12.
I mean,
and we had a 9-year-old playing banjo in the contest.
Oh, it's incredible.
So good. I mean, but you're right. If you've got kids or grandkids and you want to bring them out and let them see these young people playing at all ages and doing an outstanding job, to Friday night, 5 o'clock is when the Dan Kelly Jr. Fiddle Contest starts. And it's not just fiddle, it's all instruments
all
and
instruments.
clogging.
Yeah.
And we'll have Tennessee Rhythm there. We'll have some other cloggers there. And then after the contest is over and we've handed out the cash prizes to those youth, we're going to all go in the barn and have an old-timey square dance, and you mentioned with Larry and Cheryl Chun and some outstanding fiddlers. That fiddle band is nothing to sneeze at. And we'll go as late as people want to dance on Friday night. And then Saturday, the music starts at 11. Sugar Ridge is going to be the first band on the lineup. They'll start at 11 o'clock. They're going to be followed by the Tri-State Ramblers. A lot of folks have seen them recently with the festival.
That's Amelia and Reagan Brown. Yep.
And they'll be at 12:30. We're going to do some special presentations at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Larry and Cheryl, they always have to play early. Larry and Cheryl Chun and the band, a step ahead. They have to play early because they got to get to the Grand Ole Opry. Because Larry will tell you he gets paid to dance on the radio. So they'll be on at 2:30 in the afternoon. Ridgetop Ramblers, David and his crew will be there at 4. And then Cutter and Cash and the Kentucky Grass will be at 5:30. The last band will go on. That's Green River Review, which you'll recognize a lot of the faces in that act. They'll be on at 7 o'clock, and then we'll wrap up probably around 8:30 or so on Saturday night.
Just a great night. And, that's one thing, too, if you've been before and you're accustomed to seeing the bands rotate through twice, that they've changed that. And I really think I like this.
Yeah,
I like this because it's not like, because, sometimes, you want to see your band. And that way you can see your band and
you'll
see
get
everything
to see
they're bringing.
Everything they're bringing. Absolutely.
So I think it's going to be awesome. And I'm thrilled with the lineup, all of this. I just love the show. I thank y'all for letting me be a part of it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's just awesome.
The city's been doing a lot of work this week. They poured concrete ramps to replace the old rotten wooden ramps.
Oh, really?
Really?
Okay, that's nice.
The new doors that Harris Green designed, you can open them with a fingertip. They're bigger and beautiful. So that the bands can come and go from the back of the stage. They were down there patching the asphalt from the water damage from this past week. So the path is all set up. We're going to be down there today setting up a tent.
I'm sure.
Big, giant tent. So things are coming together. I want to remind people, you mentioned the restrooms. You have restrooms there, right there, where you can use them. You don't have to go to the top of the hill or use a portable toilet. And we'll have golf carts. So if you just come in the park, park at the first available spot, and there'll be a golf cart along to get you down to the festival ground.
Stole my next thought. I was going to mention the golf carts.
But bring your lawn chair.
Yes.
You have limited bleachers.
Yeah, and here's the thing: when you get there, you better get your chair where you want it, because they'll be jockeying for position in that tent. Now, it's funny. It's kind of like going to the ballpark and putting those chairs right in front of the fence. I'm experiencing that for the first time. It's like, don't move my chair. It's so funny. But they do the same thing at the Bluegrass Festival. And it is such a good time. So much fun.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited about it. Now, in the past, we've had, I tell you what, let's do your ad since you're sitting there,
I'll do
brother, with that beautiful just look at you all bright and blue, and you got the new name, Exit Prime Realty, and explain to people why you changed the name. It's just you combine the offices. You combine the two offices.
We spun off our White House, our Robertson County offices, White House in Springfield. We're Exit Prime Realty now. But we are still part of Exit Realty Garden Gate team because we are licensed in Kentucky as well. And that company has office in Franklin, getting ready to open a new office in Bowling Green. So we can help anybody who wants to buy or sell in Robertson County, anywhere in Middle Tennessee, as well as Southern Kentucky. And if you are moving out of town or have a friend that's buying or selling in another state, and you don't have an agent, call us. We've got a great network of agents. I've referred people to agents that have taken good care of them in Washington, D.C., in Lexington, Kentucky. I helped a fellow out of Hendersonville buy property in Belize. So I can help you wherever you need help by connecting you with a reputable agent.
That's cool. And people who might want to become a realtor, would you be open to mentoring them?
Absolutely. We've got a great program that incentivizes us to mentor agents, to help them succeed. We've got a lot of agents that are just starting out. We were working with several people. One of our agents in Springfield just retired from a career with the state of Tennessee, and now she is moving into being able to work in real estate
cool.
full time. She has closing today. So
Oh, how fun. Congratulations.
We're glad to help people if they're interested in, and if they just want to call up and talk, we'll have some coffee. I'll tell them all about what it takes to be in real estate, because it's not for everybody. But if you feel like it might be something that interests you, we can tell you the ups and downs of it and explain how it works, and it might be something you want to investigate.
I love it, and it's I talk to my students about it. I've got a couple of students that are interested, and I give them
Absolutely.
Your name.
Well, and I'll mention that too. We shared something. Becky shared on her social media recently. The state of Tennessee just introduced a program that is going to pay for the education for high school seniors, essentially seniors. You have to be 18 to get a license, but Tennessee high school students can take the real estate classes at no cost.
That's awesome.
So a student that's getting ready to graduate high school, getting ready to turn 18, go ahead and take the classes. The day you turn 18, you can take the test and be a licensed real estate agent. It can be something you do part-time while you're in high school, during the summer.
Oh, that's great.
And then when you go on to college, that'd be a great job for a college student. And there's nothing better than somebody that starts that young and has that many years of experience, even if it's just a part-time job while they're getting through school.
So I love these mentoring programs for these kids. That's what my job in the education is about. That's what my husband does. We're both career teachers, and I love all these options. I just think it's wonderful for kids to give them options like that. That's cool. I had not heard that. That is awesome. Very cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Don't hesitate to call me.
Exit Prime Realty, Barry and Rebecca Richards. Give them the phone number.
You can call me at 615-504-7424. Barry Richards at 615-504-7424.
And you just change that last number for your bride, right? Isn't it?
She's 7425.
Yeah, that's what I thought as soon as you said that, because I typically give her number. But there you go. Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty. And you'll see them at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival.
Absolutely.
I tell her, your ad's been getting an awful lot of, your ad's been giving an awful lot of time to the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival this week.
That's fine.
Last 2 weeks.
We'll be down there too. We'll have a tent. Come by and hang out. We'll have extra chairs. So if you are tired of walking around, come sit with us for a little bit.
There you go. And I'm really excited about I think we're going to have a big crowd, because I think we've gotten it publicized better than ever. And a lot of it is that we had the bluegrass in Springfield.
Yeah.
And
we were able to give out flyers about that.
Yeah. Kind of set the mood. It's like, hey, come on. You like this happy music? She's my sister, their granddaddy, Kenny, he says it's happy music. So there you go. But what are we missing, guys?
David, tell them about the bands coming. I skimmed over them, but we've got a great lineup.
We do have a great lineup.
There's this bunch called the Ridgetop Ramblers, man. What are they all about?
You know, it's one of these kind of deals that this year I sort of thought, if you notice, I sort of kept a lot of the bands close to home.
But I like
doing local, and I like it too. I like it too, because they're part of the community, and I want to be part of the Kilgore, you know. But we got Larry and Cheryl Chun's going to be there, and Green River Review. Them boys play down there at the Station Inn an awful lot. Very good. That's Kelsey Cruz and David Mansfield. They're awesome. They're a great band. Of course, we got the Tri-State Ramblers coming, and them kids are just awesome.
They're just amazing.
I enjoy just sit there and watch them. I got to see them up at Owensboro, Kentucky, here a while back. Got to sit there and watch and just really enjoy them. They just put on a really good show. They really are.
And I've known those girls, I mean, since they were little.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen them up at Springfield Guitar taking lessons and listening to Danita, their mom, talk about introducing. That's why I'm talking about introducing these kids to music early. They did, and these girls just whoosh, they've just done amazing stuff.
You know, there again, we like to see these kids grow into music.
Yeah,
and just being able to sit down and watch them and just see how they are growing and how they're progressing in it. It's just it's awesome.
It is
awesome. And of course we got Cutter and Cash, you know, and
same thing. Youngins that are just going crazy in their career.
I really do believe we got a good lineup. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I really do. I think people's going to enjoy it.
For sure. But how long are the sets?
Probably an hour and 15.
We're giving, we're
I figured
spacing
they'd
them
be a
out
little
for
bit
an hour and a
longer.
half, so they can go full hour and a half they want, or hour 15.
Yeah, hour 15, hour 20.
That's what most people have in there.
Yeah, because we had in the past, they were about 45 minutes roughly.
Yeah, when we were doing 2 sets.
I'm the timekeeper. I'm like, get off the stage.
Well,
but anyway.
I think the way we're doing it's better. We be on stage a little while longer, but we're already up there.
Yeah.
And then when people come off, then they can sit, enjoy the other bands, or
and not have to think
mingle
about
around.
Right. Yeah.
Sell their merchandise or whatever they want to do.
Yep.
And
I think it's great. I like it.
So I like it too. It worked out good last year, and I think it's going to work out really good this year. So. For sure. And I just guys, great value. $10 will get you in both nights. You got the fish fry on Friday night. You get to see all the contests and the kids on Friday night. 12 and under, you're free. You got golf carts to take you up and down. Don't worry about the hill. I just can't say enough about everything that we've got set up out there. What are we missing anything?
No, come on out. Come on out early on Saturday. Music starts with Sugar Ridge at 11, and of course there'll be food trucks there. So come hungry. And my strategy is I get there, I eat something as soon as the food truck opens, and then I'll wait a while and I'll eat some more, and then I'll wait a while and I'll eat some more. And by the end of the day, I've eaten from every single vendor,
There you go.
And then I'll work it off, taking that tent down in there.
There you go. And you're gonna build up a few extra calories. You can go out today and do it. So I love it. And don't let the weather. I haven't looked at the weather. Or how are we doing on weather?
We've got a private. Well, the last time I looked, it's about 50-50 on what we're going to get. So we'll get some rain. I'll guarantee you we're going to get some rain. But again, it's rain or shine because we've got a great tent. If it's just a light mist, everything just rolls along. The golf carts have covers on them.
Yeah.
So you won't get very wet at all if it's raining.
Well, and just wear your gear.
And if it gets heavy, then again we just go inside the barn.
And if you want to come and dance, I'm getting new knees this summer, so I'm not ready to do the square dance, but I can sure watch. But you wait, next year, man, I'm dancing. I'm going to get back out on that floor next year. So anyway, love you guys.
Thank you so much, LaVern. We appreciate it.
Barry Richards, David Mitchell.
Does for us.
Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival happening this weekend. It is time, y'all. We've been talking about it for 6 months. It's time. 17th and 18th, join us, and I'll keep talking about it over the next couple of days, and I will see y'all Friday night.
All right, we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Bye-bye. See you later. I'm going to let them slide out, and we've got, I saw Brian Pulley coming in with Miss Dr. K. She is here, and we're going to be talking. She's always fun to talk to, but I'm going to let them slide on in here while we take a break, and we talk about what's going on at Veterans Motorplex. Now, this is the old Highland Rim Speedway. You have to follow them. If you want to know more about Veterans Motorplex, you need to follow them. Highland Rim Speedway. That is the place to go. They kept I talk about this all the time, but they kept that website they kept that connection because they had so many followers. It was already established. So go to Veterans Motorplex and you can find out all the things that are going on. Now, the racing season actually started it goes March to October, but we just want to re-emphasize that racing was a little bit delayed because they were doing improvements on the track. It looks wonderful, fabulous stuff happening. But now that they've gotten into the racing, they're racing every Saturday, weather permitting. You need to follow them at Highland Rim Speedway so you know if there's a rain delay, if anything happens, you can check it out there. But they have a great value for the family. $40 ticket. Can get up to 6 kids and 2 adults in for one $40 ticket price. They're at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. Family-friendly environment. Unlike a lot of racetracks, there's no alcohol sold, served, or allowed. So you don't have to worry about any of that. You can come out and enjoy this so exciting quarter-mile, high-banked asphalt bull ring. Fun for the whole family. I had no idea how much fun it was. I've been to races many, many times through my radio career just to do events and stuff and never really paid attention. I've sat down and watched the races out there several times since they started sponsoring. And I've had so much fun. The big rig races are just a blast. I'll have to talk to Jerry to see if that's happening this year. But you can go out and just in any normal Saturday and see local favorites. You'll see teenagers out there racing. They'll have big wheel races for the little kids. It is an absolute blast. Great way to spend a Saturday evening. But it's at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. You can follow them by going to Highland Rim Speedway and follow them there. You'll see that big banner that says Veterans Motorplex. And when you're there, there. And when you see Jerry, please always let him know that you turned sent you and thank them for sponsoring One Street. And as we get on back into it, my goodness, my friend Dr. K is here. Hello, hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Just beautiful smile. I mean, I know we say this all the time. You've got the sweetest smile. You just light up the room. You know, I know you got to hear that all the time. People who smile with their eyes, you can see it. But anyway, how's the world? Everything good?
Busy, but good.
Yeah, same
Really
here.
good. How are things going as you guys are wrapping up the school year?
Crazy, but good. Our Greenbrier Lady Cats are the region champs, and so I was telling the guys, I said I'm a little disheveled this morning because I was up at 4:30 fixing the digital sign on the road to make sure we got that, because they're playing Lexington tomorrow night.
This is softball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the state tournament's next week. Mm-hmm. I think it starts on Tuesday. So we're just getting real excited, man. Yeah. They're state bound now, but tomorrow I don't understand softball. I went to this. I finally made it to a softball game the other night, and I had to ask them questions. I'm like, well, why'd they do that? I don't know. I don't know. I've never played it. I did once when I was a kid, but I just don't know anything about it. So
I can help. I filmed softball championships for 12 years, so I can fill you in. It's very similar to baseball. There are a few minor differences though, but it is extreme. The thing that's always perplexed me about it is, so a baseball pitcher throws overhand, right?
Right.
They can only throw so many pitches. I was a pitcher myself, and your arm will wear out.
Yeah.
Softball pitchers throw the underhand, get all the velocity on it. They can apparently throw unlimited pitches. So I don't understand why there's a different, must be the overhand, something with the shoulder is all I can guess. But like the aces in softball, and when we would have our championships, would literally pitch just about the entire tournament.
Wow.
Because they could go, whereas a pitcher on baseball side pitches and then needs like 5 or 6 days rest after that before they can pitch again. Yeah, that's the biggest difference is if you got a great pitcher, if a team has a great pitcher, they can keep going. So I don't know if they have pitch limits in high school. I know in college they did not, but that was the big major difference in the game. And there's a few minor rule differences, but it's very similar. It's very similar to baseball.
Well, see, and one thing too, I just when I watch them pitch that thing, and the way they whip that arm around, that just hurts me to look at it.
You would think it would put more stress on it, but it apparently doesn't. It must be something with the rotator cuff and going over the top.
Interesting.
And it's a lot of leg for them. A lot of it comes from their legs and their back and all that. So it's where they get their power. But
our pitcher's good.
That's usually what makes a good team. Yeah, if you have a good pitcher. I was so
impressed with the athleticism of these girls. I was like, they're something else. And here's okay. Let me ask you a question. Then we're going to get on to why
we have to have a little chit chat here for a minute.
We visit. We just have to catch up.
And I haven't seen you in a while, so I'm glad to hear everything that's going on.
And it's so much fun. And we have, but the kids were trying to explain it to me. I only know one of the girls really well that's on the team. She's in my homeroom, my cat time. And I was asking Lizzie, I said, okay, so you win the region Wednesday night. If you win the region Wednesday night, and then you have to play another game Friday night for sectionals, what is that all about?
That like sub-state? That's where they have basketball.
Sub-state?
What
does that mean?
We went district, regional, and then you would play another regional winner in something called sub-state.
Okay.
And if you won that one, then you got to go to the state championship. So it's just a way of letting the regional champions play each other, at least in basketball. I don't know how they do it in softball. But
okay, so they're not at the state level yet until they win Friday night.
I don't know. So I won't want to say that it was softball. I just know that's how it worked for basketball. You won your region, then you had to play a sub-state game. And this is in the 80s and 90s. So this may have or it's they won their region, right?
Uh-huh.
There's usually one up, and then you go state because they only have so many teams in the state. But that's still state. I mean, you're playing to go to the state championship.
You're playing Lexington. Yeah. Lexington ain't around here.
Right. So
they're having to come here.
It's usually another regional winner. Okay. And then those. So I don't know. It could be different. Somebody may be listening. Go, that's completely wrong.
I'll get Lizzie to explain it to me.
This was 80s, 90s, but that's the way it was for TSSAA. Okay. You played another regional winner.
Okay. Well, they're playing Lexington Friday night.
Good luck, ladies.
Yeah. I'm so proud. I'm so excited for them. Good luck. And y'all get ready too. We're getting ready to release our documentaries we've been working on for a year and a half. And one is silly Bigfoot stuff. And Mr. Blue, we appreciate your help on that. None of my kids are really. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but we're doing one That's going to be a fun one. But we're doing one really heavy one about drug abuse.
Okay.
And we did, I don't know if you've ever been to Recovery Court graduation where they do the remembrance ceremony. Last year, we did a remembrance ceremony at our school for people who had lost loved ones to drug addiction. Well, that's featured in this. And we're just about ready to release that. So pay attention because I think it's going to be powerful. But we got Mayor Vogel in it, Judge Perry's in it, Ron Baptiste is in it. We interview, of course, we got Althea Sickle with the Recovery Court. Who am I forgetting? There's somebody else. Oh, Larry Staggs, our vice principal, interviewed in it. It's gonna be powerful. So that's what's going on in my world, Dr. K. What's going on in yours?
Same old. But we're excited though. We are introducing a new thing called YAC. Well, new to Robertson County. YAC. But basically, yes, it stands for Youth Association Contribution. But basically, it allows for high schoolers to be able to take part in tutoring. And so, but because we aren't going to be so much in the classroom this summer, they're still going to have tutoring, but we're going to focus more on YAC, in which the high schools are able to go in and do a activity or a lesson with the younger kids, and they're able to get still volunteer credit hours for that.
Okay. So how do they sign up to do this?
Same way. And we're still also taking applications that want to volunteer in the classroom during the fall. We can still do that. You can still go in and do your background check and everything like that, and we'll have that on file. So you don't have to worry about that when the fall comes. We can just put you right into the classroom. But yes, still go into the United Way website, toggle over to volunteer opportunities, and then click on raise your hand and fill out the application.
Is that where they go for the YAC as well?
Yes, there'll be
so it's all under the umbrella of Raise Your Hand.
Yes.
Okay. But and so how many students do you need for that program?
As many as wants to come. We are currently, I don't remember if I said this last time, but we are currently in 11 schools. Here, 11 elementary schools here in Robertson County. So we definitely have somewhere to put them and a place where they can go and do some type of activity in the summer. Well,
and I would think with the situation with how third graders have to, I forget exactly what they call it, with the initiative. What is it?
The retention.
So it's basically, it's more important than ever that we help these kids get past those markers to make sure they can advance, right? So, but I just... Have you seen? Do y'all have any statistics or anything like that to go say, okay, we've in the time? How long has Raise Your Hand been around?
2012.
2012. So I mean,
it started out in Williamson County, and it's grown from there. We've expanded to other surrounding counties. We're not in Davidson, unfortunately, because they already have so many resources, and we don't want to step on any toes there. But we are in surrounding counties now. We're in Dixon and Cheatham. We're trying to get into Montgomery County at some point in the future and help out in Clarksville. But we are definitely expanding. Like I said, we're in 5 counties right now.
And this is United Way, guys. When you start talking about people, you don't know a lot about United Way, this is the kind of stuff they do. And it's just incredible. We've got an amazing United Way in this area and the work that they do. How long have you been with them?
I started in February of 2023. So a little over a year.
How do you like it? Do you like the area?
I do. I love it.
Yes.
I absolutely love what I do. I love the people I work with. They're absolutely amazing. They inspire me every day. Brian is absolutely amazing.
Yes, he is.
See what he does.
You got to brag on him.
I appreciate that. I slid her a little money before we came in. Say, hey, pump me up in there now.
That's so funny.
But she's right. We had our org update yesterday, which is like our all staff meeting.
Yeah.
And we've been having those virtually since COVID, basically. And we had one in person yesterday. And we've hired obviously a lot of new people and have and everybody gave updates on where their particular programs are. And the thing that struck out to me is, one, how many committed, passionate people we have, like Dr. K, that are working in their areas, but then also all of the programs and the impact they're making. And it's stuff that, like, if I don't remind myself, I forget we're doing. You know what I mean? Because there's so many tentacles with United Way and what they're doing in so many different areas. And I said that's one thing that's unique about our organization. And also, I think it hurts us a little bit sometimes when we go to fundraise, because, like, if you have an organization that's just focusing on one mission, it's easier to hone in for people. It's like, I'm giving money to help that, right? Whereas we're helping a lot of society, but I think the overall thing that we're trying to do is make our community better. Amen. And what she's doing is a huge part of that. If we're a more educated community and our kids have a better education and they're coming out with a better chance to succeed, to me, that's the foundation. That's the beginning. And that's why what she's doing is so important.
We love it. Yeah. I love it. So this is just the call to say right now here at the end of the year is a really good time for you to be thinking about what you're going to be doing in the fall and getting the things done to get you in line to be able to be a volunteer and to, if you've got all these kids, I've got my cat time, my homeroom are rising seniors. So they're basically the upperclassmen in the building now because the seniors have, they're done. They're getting ready to graduate
checked
on
out
Friday,
a while
Monday.
ago.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're the seniors. And I started in on them a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, guys, we're gonna get in front of this. Anything you need to do, I'm just constantly every day questioning them. Where are you on this? Where are you on this? And they need their volunteer hours if they're going to have Tennessee Promise. What a great way to get it. Working with these kiddos and really pouring into the next generation. And so I'm pushing it hard. And I know if other teachers will remind these kiddos, don't wait until the last minute. Don't call United Way going, I need volunteer hours this weekend. That's not how it works. You got to get in front of it. You got to get them. Do y'all know how many do they need for Tennessee Promise? I forget.
I believe it's 8 hours.
Yeah, I
believe so.
And so this is a great way to do this and just to pour into these younger. Have you had any older siblings that want to work with their younger siblings? Have you had those kinds of situations?
I have not. I did have a young man that wanted to work where he went to elementary school, and he ended up being able to go back there, and he really loved it and was working with his former teachers and things like that. Man. And I do recall him reaching out to me and letting me know how much he really enjoyed it and how he was working with one young man on his math skills, and he had an upcoming math test, and he was really excited to learn that the young man did very well on his math test and that he had something to do with that because he had been working with him.
I love that.
So it was really nice to see that he was enjoying it and having fun.
So unpack for somebody what it's going to look like now. So you've got the YAC program.
Yes.
So you say it's more of an activity thing. When will this be facilitated? What would it look like if my kid, if one of my students volunteers? What can I tell them to expect? So if I'm going to go in, I'm going to have my kids. I've only got my homeroom today, tomorrow, and Monday. And then they're off for the summer. They'll drop their computers off, but that'll be like, see ya. So I'm not going to have their ear, but just 3 more times before summer. So what can I tell them if they go on and register? Now, they don't have to go through the background check as teens, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Okay. Unless they're like over 18, which if they're going to a senior, they're probably not over 18.
They wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So I might have an 18-year-old that's coming into senior year that just turned 18. I don't think so, but sometimes that can happen. But so if they get on and they're going to go ahead and get signed up, but what can they expect? What kind of is it going to be after school? Is it going to be during school? How's this going to unpack for them next year?
Next year, it will be after school. As of right now, we haven't had any indication that it would change. If it does change, it will probably be probably during the school day if it changes. But as of right now, it is after school. Okay. We can set up transportation where they can be bused from their high school to the school if they do not have transportation, and we can set up where they have a bus to go home if they need to get home after. Yes, they would go on and they would sign up. They would fill out the application. We would reach out to them, let them know we got their application and how excited we are for them. They would go through like a little bit of a training module, but essentially it's some slides that they go through, answer a couple questions. It's really simple. I tell them you can do it maybe in 10 minutes. So during study hall, you could do it. And then we would plug them into a classroom with an amazing teacher and some kiddos that they can help out and things like that. And we ask for an hour a week. They can do both days. The gentleman I was telling you about, he wanted to do both days during the week, so he would come both Wednesday and Thursday when he would volunteer. And again, it was after school. Some schools are from 2:30 to 4. Some schools are from 3:30 to 4:30, but it's just a matter of we are aware that y'all get out of school till like 3, and we're like, that's perfectly okay. We'll still give you that full hour. Okay. As long as you go straight to the school, and the teachers there are aware that you guys aren't getting out of school until like 3:15, and they are aware you're going to be not going to be there till probably like 3:20, but you'll still get that full hour because you are a high school student, and we account for that.
Okay. And you mentioned that, so instead of just sitting down and tutoring math, there might be some other activities and stuff along with the YAC program.
Yes,
right.
Yes. With the YAC program, they would go in and they would most likely do some type of STEM activity or reading activity or math activity, something tied in some way to the standards, because that's something that's really important with the school district here, that they're not just going in and doing activities that's actually tied to a standard that's benefiting the kids in some way. And they would show them how to do it, they would teach them how to do it, and they would go around and they would actually help the kids in executing the activity. But the cool thing about the YAC program is the high schoolers get to plan the whole thing. Like essentially they get to kind of like be teacher for the day type of thing. Okay. So they get to plan out a whole lesson and figure out what materials they want to use and all that. So it's a lot of fun.
Okay. Oh, that'd be great for these kiddos that are wanting to be teachers, because we have programs that are, upcoming teachers and rising teachers and things like that. I forget exactly what they call it, but there is a, because the girl I was telling you plays softball, she's part of that. And she's going to be a teacher. This is one thing I was talking with, central office, Michelle, I can't think of her last name. It's in HR. They were talking about the Build Your Own program. Some of these kiddos are coming out of high school and they've got some college credit already, and they're already going to work for the school district. And this would be a great transitional thing to kind of get them acclimated to that. If that's something, if they're seeing that that's something they're interested in, they could get involved with United Way and get themselves and, get their foot in the door in the classroom and get that process started. Volunteering you say once they're 18, they've got to get the background check. What age can they start? Do they, the minute they're in high school, or is it 14, 13?
We can take them in ninth grade. Okay. We don't really have any qualms about that. If anything, it would be a matter of, throughout this whole process, we're going to be talking to the school counselors. They're like our go-betweens. And so in working with them and getting feedback on which students do they think would be best, as far as, because they know the students more than we do. We have like brief conversations with them, but they're with these students every single day, and they vouch for them. And like, hey, they're a good kid, they're a good worker. I think they'll be perfect for this program and things like that. So if they come in at ninth grade and they want to get a jump start on it, they're welcome to come on. We would definitely find a spot for them.
I love it. And I love that y'all have got transportation. And you talk about the transportation. Is that facilitated through United Way, or is that facilitated through our transportation department with Mr. Heinerman and all of that?
We provide funds to pay the bus drivers to be able to do it, but it is facilitated. We work with y'all's transportation bus services in order to get the kiddos home, because it'll be y'all's school buses, y'all's bus drivers, but we provide funding for the bus drivers to be able to do so for the after school program.
Well, see, and that's what's so wonderful. That's one of the things I've talked with when I've had Mr. Heinerman in talking about the transportation. If you see buses out on the road in unusual hours, that's why, is because they're doing these maybe tutoring programs, after school tutoring programs, or they're in extracurricular. And a lot of kids just don't have transportation. And we want to make sure that they can facilitate and do the things that are available to them. I love it. It's just such a great program. What say you? You look like you're about ready to.
I'm just listening, because I bring smart people in and I try to shut my mouth so she can do her thing. But no, I mean, it's a phenomenal program, and it's growing, and I know it's grown here in Robertson County, and I'm just proud that it's under the United Way umbrella, and we'll support it however we can. But it's literally, like I said earlier, I think the most important thing we can do is make sure our kids have a good education, because it's the next generation that's going to be coming up, and they are going to be the teachers and the doctors and all the people that we rely on for our community to function. And so you want them to have that good base and to have a good school experience too, because a lot of those people, if they do have great experiences in school growing up, they go to college, they go to do the thing, they're going to want to a lot of times come back to that community and work in that community and help that community. And I mean, I'm walking testament to that myself. Yeah. So I grew up here, was educated here. I had a great experience. I wanted my kids to have a similar experience, and they're getting educated in this community now. And so I love programs like this. I love the fact that they're empowering some of our young people to be a part of it too. And what you said, I think is a great point. If you got people that are going into education, what better way to do it than let's go ahead and get started and see what it's like. And then I tell young people this all the time. It may not be for you, and you learn that early too. And that's a good thing. That's a positive thing. Like one of the best lessons I learned is like, I don't want to do that. Yeah. Right? You know what I mean? Like learning.
I thought I did, but
I don't. So then you go do something else that maybe is your purpose that you have. And so sometimes that could be the benefit. But, I just think it's an awesome program. And I love when she comes in because I learn every time a little bit more about what they're doing.
And then for like individuals that they have jobs and they want to be able to do it, but they have like the work hours don't allow them to. We are in the process of gathering what we call in-kinds, which are little tokens of appreciation that we want to give to the teachers. So if someone's working somewhere and they have pens, or they want to give like gift card vouchers or anything like that, you're welcome to contribute them. We only ask like if you're able to give 15 or 20. Like I said, it can be pens, it can be little pens you put on your lapel, it can be anything, and you'll be listed as a sponsor of Raise Your Hand, and your contribution will go into a little thank you gift thing for the teachers with a little thank you card from that particular business, and it's tax deductible.
Okay.
Also.
Well, that's a great idea, because that's the time constraint is a hard thing for a lot of people. And so that's another way. And as a teacher, I've gotten those little gift bags with all kinds of little trinkets in it, and we appreciate it. It's nice.
Always.
It's always fun, because trust me, kids are wanting pens and pencils all the time. All the time. And you say, bring it back, and they don't. They just don't. They just don't.
Guilty. You hand me a pen, it's probably not coming back. I'm sorry. It's not intentional either.
So I tell you, and Miss Charlene Sullivan is putting up a message to change the subject for just a moment. Sure. Laundry Loves Tomorrow. And while that's not really under the umbrella of United
It's not. It's just something we kind of inherited that we worked with, and Ace did it, and she was a volunteer. I think that's kind of how it got started with the lady that started originally, and then Tiffany kind of ran with it. And then I do have a little bit of news that I'll be able to share in more detail. We hired someone yesterday. I can't go public with it yet, but it is somebody that lives in this area.
Wonderful.
The position is going to change just a touch, but they will be serving Robertson County as well as Cheatham, and have a little bit of Davidson responsibility. But the person is based here. It's somebody I know. They will do an amazing job. They're going to be a great. They're just going to take what Ace and Tiffany have done and just run with it and do amazing things. And I'm excited. I'll bring them in here soon when they get started. I think 1st of June is when they'll be getting started. And so just super excited. And I think they're going to do some amazing things here. So
very good. Yeah. Very good. We're talking with Brian Pulley and Dr. K. And Doctor, I know you as Dr. K. What's your real name?
My actual name is Marqueta Eccles.
Marqueta Eccles. Dr. K. It's easy, right?
Yeah.
So, and she is with you work for the United Way, Middle Tennessee, right? Yes. And you are with... You're Middle Tennessee.
It's same. We're all under the same umbrella. I'm United Way, Greater Nashville. We just serve different areas, and so I serve in Robertson, Cheatham, but I have Davidson and Williams and stuff too, and a little bit Dixon, a little bit of Montgomery. So we serve a 9-county footprint. I'm just based here, and so this is home for me. I work out of this office. I go to Nashville just as much as anything else, but we work the area, and I've been here 5 years now. It was not like that when we first took over. It's grown tremendously since we've been there, and it's. I think we've strengthened as a result of it, and we're able to make a bigger impact in those communities and our surrounding communities, because as we know, Nashville itself has grown so much. Outer counties we've experienced it here in Robertson County, obviously, and so it makes sense that we would try to apply what we're doing throughout our area, because we're all connected here. So we're all under the same umbrella, basically.
United Way makes a way to all the nonprofits in the area, and the 211 number is something that when I discovered that, I was still working at the church in the benevolence, and I was at the benevolence center a lot, and I can't tell you how much I gave that number out because and I met a homeless woman the other day. And, we talked to them about what does she need, what are the services, and people who are not aware, they can call that 211 number and just say, here's my situation. Here's what I need. I'm about to be homeless. My rent is due. Are there some resources? And they're like, well, here's where you can call. These are the ones. That's one of the hardest things is when you're a nonprofit, you very quickly as a nonprofit, you find your thing. You're like, okay, I can do this, but I can't do that. And you see that.
Right.
And so you have to connect those dots. And it is just, I can't tell you how many times we would have somebody come in the homeless community and maybe we couldn't do what they needed to do, but the Church of the Nazarene has a program up the street and they're doing that part of it.
Right.
And then we would see several success stories where we were helping them while they were on the street, and then the Church of the Nazarene, their group took over and actually got them in an apartment. You know, and when you connect the dots and when you just all work together, it's kind of like that word united, right?
That's our goal is for our funded partners, and that's why when we go through the process of funding, you want to make sure that there's not overlap. And so that the funding is going so that it's streamlining as much so that this one is not doing the same as this one, so that they're all in their areas. And then that's what we try to do, because one nonprofit cannot be an end all be all for everybody. Bring somebody in, get them shelter, get them counseling. Like you can't. There's nobody that exists that can do all those services, but together. United, there you go again.
Way makes a way.
We can do that together, and so that's the goal. And we have people come in sometimes, and I would love to just be able to take all of their issues that they're having right now and fix them for them right there on the spot. But we can't do that right there. But we can get them started in the process with our funded partners of making those steps. It's usually a first step, then the next one, then the next one, the next one. But you can't. I can't clean everything up today. Yeah. But we can start the process, and that's the way I try to look at it. It's like, well, let's get you started. What's the most important thing we need to get taken care of today? Yeah. So let's start there, and then we're going to move from there. And that's what we try to do. And we have great partners in this area. We have great partners throughout our 9-county footprint that are working hard every day. And that's why I get up and do what I do. Try to raise as much money as we can so they can do what they need to do.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. United Way. It is the bridge builder to the nonprofits in this. I've just been so impressed with everything I've learned about United Way. That's why they come in once a week.
That's right.
To keep us up to date on everything. So we're right here just about to run out of time. What are we missing? What do we need to make sure everybody knows before we part ways today?
Just go onto the United Way website and go into volunteer opportunities and look into the volunteer opportunities that we have. And I would love for you guys to be a part of the Raise Your Hand tutoring program, but we also have other amazing volunteer opportunities on United Way's volunteer site also. So if you can't be a part of the Raise Your Hand, look into other ways that you can contribute and give back to the community in any way that you can, because like they were saying earlier, giving back to the community, you are fueling the future generations that live here, and it's really important.
It's like I try to tell I tell my kids, I said, quit listening to the people who tell you the sky is falling, because the sky's the limit. Because we live in a time that it's different, but oh my goodness, the opportunities that are out there, they are limitless. The sky really is the limit when it comes to the things that these kids can do, but somebody's got to point the way. Somebody's got to help them to see it, because not all households are really giving them that positive influence to say, hey, come on, man, you got this. There's some great options out there. Yep. Anything on the way out here?
We've got a bunch of fun stuff coming up. We'll get to it later on. We'll have our Stuff the Bus coming up in July. We'll get some details out on that. We will have some volunteer opportunities coming up. And then we'll have hopefully our new person in here in the next couple weeks, and we'll introduce them. And so we've got it's an exciting time. The work update yesterday, just we have so much good stuff going on. I think 24 is going to be a fantastic year, and just excited for everything we got coming. So
it's so funny. I love how we're already talking about stuffing the bus, and school's not even out yet.
See, that's the thing.
But you have to.
We have to think about it. This stuff doesn't plan itself within a week, so we have to plan. Because I promise y'all, and nobody wants to hear this, myself included, as I'm rushing 2 sleepy-headed kids out of the door this morning. Summer will be over when we blink, and then you go, oh, we got to do the back to school stuff. We have to be thinking about it now. That's what we do. So we'll do that for you so you can enjoy your vacation time.
Well, and Dr. Weeks, our director of schools, was in here here this week, and I told him, I said, United Way will be in here on Thursday, and we will be talking about Stuff the Bus already.
Oh, yeah, we have to. We have to. We've already got companies we'll be sending out. They got to start collecting. Yeah. They got to start thinking about it, and so it's a ramp-up process. We're excited. We're going back to our original model we had pre-COVID, so we're really getting people involved, and everything's kind of feels like it's getting back to fully normal on that side, and really just doing what we do, which is bringing a bunch of people together to help the community, help our young people. That's what we want to do. So
United Way makes a way, man.
Right.
I've said it 3 times now.
I love it. Might be a new tag. We'll send that to our marketing department.
Yes.
You're welcome. Any parting thoughts? Thank you, Dr. K.
Thank you again for allowing me to come and talk about Raise Your Hand. It's always nice to come here and chat with you and see what's going on in your neck of the woods. So I greatly appreciate giving us this opportunity.
Go and check it out. Go to United Way and go to volunteer opportunities. Click on Raise Your Hand and you'll find out all the things you can do. Great volunteer opportunities for us all. And your kiddos can get their volunteer hours in, but you got to do it now. Very good. Thank you guys for joining us. You have an awesome day. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless.